Yo, what is good, everybody? What is good, yo? I have some interesting news in how this whole arc of freaking whatchamacallit is going. Boruto, it's kind of my own thought process on the whole thing, but to think that we're seeing an anime version of the show coming to like this seems like it's an anime only event. So to know that they're getting a little bit more comfortable of being in the situation to do something like that gives me kind of hope that either A, um, we're going to be seeing a lot more of their thought process of just how strong and how crazy they can go with Boruto, and just in the instance of making him, go out of the way of being not only just powerful, but having some wits. The man, Boruto, pretty much has something that Naruto would never had at the beginning of his, story, and that was like friends and stuff like that. So to know that he had no one to turn to ever, compared to Boruto, who, as soon as he chose to do what he wanted to do, in the instance of he wanted to go out and save Mitsuki, people were willing to believe anything he even had to say. But to say the least, Boruto did do some pranks that were a lot more deadly than Naruto ever had, and not only that, um, Boruto also, he's done some things that have put him in good graces much quicker than Naruto, in his defense for how quickly Naruto became someone that they were relying on, compared to Boruto being someone they were relying on, is vastly different. And I truly have to think that that's all thanks to Hinata's bloodline being in Boruto, because just like Neji, Hinata did not have a problem channeling and being a very powerful, not only very powerful, but a person who's supposed to inherit like a whole bunch of responsibility of that clan. So, and then adding a Boden or Naruto's family's line of just how they get down with, what is it called? I think it's just chakra. Their chakra amount in general. Like, overall, if anyone can have the most chakra reserves, it's because of Naruto's family line and his bloodline. But with Hinata's clan that can control it, plus knowing he has the Byakugan in one eye that isn't even the Byakugan, it's something completely mixed. There's so much more that could completely be given away, with with Boruto's character. I just don't think the creators is ready to full on give us the deeds on what's going on. Because not to mention, another reason why I'm saying this is like anime exclusive, I don't think we've gotten so much confirmation from characters such as, um, you know, not Mitsuki, but the Otsuki. That's what I want to say. We haven't gotten that much confirmation as much as we have just recently, with him pretty much telling us that the Otsuki bloodline is very strong within him. Or we heard about the eyes and stuff like that were gonna be the thing that brings him great trouble, or gonna bring him great pain. But they were never like, oh, because the Otsuki blood is so strong in you, it's gonna be like that. It was just like in the line of, it's going to take those blue eyes are gonna take a lot away from you. And now with the anime though, he's telling us that Boruto himself has a really close line with the Otsutsuki somehow, from how he was probably born. And that might be in complement of having um, Naruto bond with the what's his face so much. Um, Naruto bond with Komari, this whole time, and because he's been bond with him, having a kid with him still bound by you, wouldn't that make sense that somehow his chakra or his, DNA was mixed up somehow in Boruto's, creation, and not only that, his daughter. So I think we're really gonna be diving into something much, much more deeper with Boruto's character, simply because it never felt to me that we were getting um, the full explanation of what could Naruto, Uzumaki, and someone from the Hyuga clan, like the top ranked like special Hyuga clan, create as a one being. And I think we're kind of getting the tip of the iceberg of just how ridiculously crazy it could actually be. And I can't wait to see that. The other thing that happens is seeing more of just the clan that Mitsuki is pretty much being pursued by or trying to, be forced to follow. They seem like they all have certain aspects of someone's different like personality. Like one of the guy who Mitsuki is talking to, he sounds more like he's envious of everything, Mitsuki gets to do, seeing how Orochimaru creating Mitsuki, this guy created them, and that's in the Hidden Stone. I think his name was Koki or something like that. But because this, and sorry if I butchered it, if that is the case, that they all kind of got different personalities because of him being created in a certain way, or all of them having certain person. Because the guy who we're watching about to run down Boruto meets Boruto, Sarada, and who? Oh, Shikadai is with them. That guy seems like he's just the anger slash prideful part of the guy. Like he saw that the guy was, well, whatever these people are with the mask. I think they're just normal soldiers or people who have been captured, and they're putting them in those masks, or they're putting them in those um, whatever they are. They're like clay or something, because after they were dead, they just like broke apart. I think those masks have something to do with like absorbing their chakra and transferring it into them so they can be alive. We haven't got any confirmation, but to hear them like kind of wailing and crying gave me that idea that there's some type of connection to human life in there. So that's pretty dark in my opinion as well. That we could be getting literally tons of people dying, and while they were dying, we just saw like five, six, seven people, hidden leaf shinobis getting body back to back. Like this is probably the one of the worst looking shows of display of the hidden leaves, like just place in general. People who work for you are getting bodied, and if they aren't getting bodied while they're out on the battlefield, they've already gotten bodied um, before before they even got sent out. The reason why this whole thing is going is because they got attacked at the front gate, and then they attacked them inside the village by putting like some caterpillar bomb on them. And people who have read the manga Boruto, since I can kind of talk about it, I haven't read every single chapter to chapter, but usually a certain chapters catch my attention, and there's a lot of different things that if this was how the Boruto chapters were written, and those chakra bugs should have never been able to get into the hidden leaf if the Boruto and the Boruto anime and manga actually did line up together. Someone would have sensed this, and I think that's a funny like reference to come back to when you have these arguments about, oh, the manga or the anime is better, but sometimes you can't even use those as examples, because as soon as you do, you find out that there are super different ways that they're interpreted, and because of that, things get lost in translation. Like some people wouldn't even have known that someone could sense um, certain unfamiliar chakras in the village until they've read certain chapters, or actually read the manga and that's never said in the anime. Things like that. So really fun episode in the sense of we actually get to see the mastermind. And this is what I've been kind of wanting, but it took a little bit too long because now if they showed us the mastermind who was behind it all. Now if the guy gets taken out in like one episode, it's still that bad have villains live, for like way too short in this series and then they just done killed off. So we're in an issue now where we've seen the main guy who's bad. We've seen multiple of clones and all these fodders that can be used to continuously attack and be forced to run off. But at the end of the day, the person who has been creating people, the person who straight up is now going to show his face to everybody and try to cause like a war or do whatever he's trying to push, we have to hope now that he lives up to all of this hype that's been brought up from Miski getting taken out of the castle to all of a sudden ending up in a position where he's called a traitor. So I'm really hoping all this pays off. Really, that's about it. And if anything, I am probably one of the minorities that actually watch the show and expect it to have good storylines and stuff like that. Some people just gave up on it being good and they just expect content, really. They're just like, oh, the show's out. I'm going to watch it. Oh, yeah, sucked. you know? So if you're one of those people that don't even watch, you can subscribe here. I'll watch it for you. Tell you if there's anything hype worth looking into if you're a big Naruto fan, but you can't really stand Boruto. I had a lot of people like that I talked to that still like to hear what's going on, but would never watch it. And then once I tell them something that's super hype that happened, they'll watch it, but they kind of don't enjoy it sometimes. But uh, that's just how it is. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribed if you did. It'd be greatly appreciated. And on top of that, I will be dropping lots and lots of content coming here soon because it is a new week and I can't wait. So let me know what you guys are watching or if you are even watching this and if you enjoy it. So with that, everybody, I'll talk to you in the next one. All right. Peace.